I'd like to call the meeting to order. Whatever date this is,
26.
of the Hanover Borough Council. And stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And in the moment of silence, at this time, I'd like for us all to remain standing. I would like for us all to recognize the passing of a valued employee of ours, Steve Ernst, who died suddenly at the age of 63 on Monday, January 17th. Mr. Ernst was a dedicated employee who worked at our regional wastewater treatment plant as a lab tech for over 12 years. So I guess I'd like for us all to consider his contributions and how, all of our lives are important and impacted by his passing and our responsibilities of this borough. Thank you very much. Okay, Dory, I guess that takes me to you for the roll call, please.
Okay. Mr. Fuentes? Mrs. Funk? Here. Mr. Greenholt?
Here.
Mrs. Greenholt?
Here.
Mr. Hegberg?
Here.
Mr. Kress?
Here.
Mr. Lockard?
Here.
Mr. Reappoint? Mr. Rowland?
Here.
Dr. Rupp?
Here.
Solicitor Schultes?
Here.
Mayor Whitman? Here. Manager Dunford?
Here.
Secretary Felix? We have a quorum.
Thank you. Dory, why do you never have to say here when you ask for your own name?
I could if you want me to.
No, that's okay. I just wanted to be stupid. Okay, so we have a proclamation from Mayor Whitman.
Valerie is going to accept this proclamation for the Byers since they were not able to be with us this evening. So, the Byers Butterflake Bakery. Whereas the Hanover Market House, also known as the Hanover Farmers Market, was established in 1815 and has through the years proposed to encourage the growth of small business while providing local products to the Hanover community at a facility especially designed or designated for the sale of fresh produce, bakery products, cooked food, and other market goods. And whereas Byers Butterflake Bakery has participated in the Hanover Market House since 1968 for a total of 53 years, while simultaneously running their own bakery in Hanover until 1985 and in Lancaster County afterward today, progressing to a 3-generation business specializing in cakes, pies, pastries, cookies, donuts, breads, bagels, and other baked specialties. And whereas owners Naomi and Dean Byers have shown outstanding commitment to the Hanover Market House, its community, and customers while exemplifying the spirit of small business by their hard work, diligence, and perseverance. And whereas Byers Butterflake Bakery has retired from their long-term participation in the Hanover Market House as of December 2021 and are worthy of appreciation. Now, therefore, I, Sue Ann Whitman, Mayor of the Borough of Hanover, York County, Pennsylvania, hereby charge all citizens to recognize and commend Naomi and Dean Byers of Byers Butterflake Bakery for their long-standing participation in the Hanover Market House and for their strong and exemplary work ethic. Thank you. Thank you, Valerie, for coming tonight.
And when I spoke to Naomi, she expressed her thrill
in being recognized. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And now they will mail that out to them tomorrow, so they'll receive
Well,
it.
since this is a video, is a round of applause.
It's a long time.
Thank you very much. Sue, thank you very much also. Okay, that takes us to the consent agenda.
Public comments.
Oh, I'm sorry, public comments.
I have a public comment.
Please come forward.
Thank you.
State your name and address, please.
Not a very long story.
Well,
It is what it is.
times are tough, right?
Yeah.
I think
It would be great to get
There you go.
great microphones, right? I'm going to stand back here because of social distancing. My name is Laura Ciceri Hypes. I live at 7 Dart Manor Court, and I want to ask a few questions about the short-term rental policy, which now is an ordinance. In October, I asked the council for a quick outline of what would happen on actions for the approval of the discussion of the short-term rental policy, which now I understand is an ordinance. And I was told that it would be reviewed by the public in January. Well, it's the end of January, and that's not going to happen. And we went to the Planning Commission last couple weeks, and there was discussion about the letter that we had sent on our concerns on the short-term rental review for the ordinance. And the discussion was that Solicitor Schultes was giving recommendations, so I have some questions just so we can get clarity about what will happen for the public. I'm assuming there is a meeting of the Planning Commission next week?
That's correct.
Will there be an ordinance for the public to review for that commission meeting?
There is a draft. It will be available when it goes to review.
So it'll be available 2 days before the meeting, or when will it be available?
No, I think we have to go through it, and then it comes back to council for approval to be put on public notice.
Okay.
Is that correct?
So the Planning Commission is going to take up the changes to the proposed short-term rental ordinance at its meeting this coming week. So if the Planning Commission recommends that it go forward, at that point it will become a public document.
Okay, so after that meeting, it'll become a public document?
If the Planning Commission accepts it and moves it forward.
Okay, great. And will that go for York County approval and review?
So I can answer that, Chuck.
Okay.
So once the Planning Commission completes its work on the draft amendment, a number of things happen. The Planning Commission must have a public meeting pursuant to public notice. So they will have a public meeting on the specifics of the ordinance amendment. Simultaneously, the ordinance amendment will be sent to the York County Planning Commission for their review and recommendation. Borough Council will then have a public hearing pursuant to public notice on the matter itself. So it's only Borough Council that can enact the ordinance. So it's only after that public hearing that the Borough Council can enact it.
So the timetable really starts when the Planning Commission has the draft for public review. Is that fair? Solicitor Schultes? I'm sorry?
When it goes on public notice.
When it goes on public notice.
The timing of it is really up to Borough Council to move it forward to York County Planning Commission. So, and they have 30 days to review it. And at that point, Borough Council can take action, but it has to have a public hearing first.
Right. And so I understand that the York County planning requires 30 days, and they meet on the middle of the month. And so do we expect that they'll review it on March 15th, or is that contingent on when it gets out of the Planning Commission?
It has to go through planning.
Okay, great. And on this short-term rental, I've had a little experience with short-term rental, as you guys have. And I worked with Hanover Land on many, many layouts. And we can't find any clarity around parking. And Hanover Land is really searching for what that will be. So in this draft ordinance, will it cover parking?
When that is under consideration in the draft, so once it's approved through the Planning Commission, that will become a public matter, and you can review it and comment on it, both at their public meeting and in the public hearing.
So if I understand correctly, Solicitor Schultes, it will include parking?
It's part of the consideration.
Okay, part of the consideration, because that's really needed. I can't tell you how much uncertainty and how much back and forth has gone on. Is there anything else that the public needs to know about this ordinance? Because it's really not a policy, it's a recommendation for an ordinance change, correct?
Correct.
Okay, great. Anything else that the public needs to know? Because it sounds like the earliest that it would go to York County for review would be March 15th, and then that would set the calendar for probably April public hearing. Does that sound about right, the earliest?
I don't know those dates. You do, so.
Okay, I just want to I'm just looking for clarity. Okay, well, maybe when we're at the Planning Commission next week, we can get clarity, because then we'll get to see the draft and we'll get to see the timetable. Because I think there's a lot of misunderstanding. People think you're working on a policy. People think that it's going to happen quickly, which I don't think it is. And so I think the more clarity we can provide the public, the less consternation, and we don't want that, any of us, right? So thank you very much for the time.
You're not under their timeline.
Okay. So,
Is there anybody-
any further public comment?
If you're joining us via Zoom, you can unmute yourself if you'd like to address council.
Okay, thank you. So then we'll move forward into item 7, the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve that consent agenda?
Second. Okay, that's items A through
I.
Aye.
yeah, sort of, right, at A through I. Thank you. We have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion on that? No? And then take a voice vote for approval. Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay. It stands approved. Then we come to the report of the standing committees. Council Workshop, Finance and Personnel Committee. And I've asked Councilor Hegberg to sit in for me on that, as I'm sitting in for President Ricard.
All right.
Chuck?
Consideration of a motion awarding a contract for the Fire Commission Fire and Rescue Service study to the Pennsylvania Economy League at the cost not to exceed $80,000, subjected to a 50% grant from the Department of Community and Economic Development.
Second that?
Any discussion on that? Chris, would you like to elaborate on that?
No, I don't think so. I think we're just hopeful that something good comes out of it, as far as that we could use to be to everybody's benefit and to ultimately help the commission, hopefully.
Sort of build a bond between ourselves
That's
and
what we're hoping.
and Township?
We're hoping
Is that a
if the
reasonable
study does prove any, if we
expectation?
learn anything from it, it can help us.
Okay. Any other comments? All right, then those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Consideration of a motion to adopt the council president's committee appointments in the 2022-2023 Hanover Borough Council Committee's work plan.
So motion.
Any discussion? I will say, I do know there was a couple questions there on about that, of maybe some fine tuning may be required in the future, and I would certainly be in favor of that. That being said, can I get those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you. Chuck?
Consideration of a motion to advertise an ordinance for Main Street Hanover appropriation of funds for the approved 2022 Hanover budget. From the approved 22 Hanover budget.
Second.
Second. Chuck? For Tim? Thank you. Any discussion? All right, those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Doty, you're against?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Consideration of a motion to approve the purchase of an Iworks zoning software module at a cost not to exceed $3,000 to meet legal requirements under the Uniform Construction Code to maintain separate building and zoning records.
Second.
Second.
Tim? Thank you. Any discussion? I guess I'd like to make comment that I think our engineering department has done a very good job with that, and my direct interaction with that has been very favorable, and it's much more efficient to get things done now that we're using this software package and its other portions. I don't know if that's appropriate or not, but I do want to give Nan and her staff credit for that. So those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Consideration of motion to approve an amendment to the 2022 municipal fee resolution to include a fee of $400 for property maintenance code appeals hearings.
So motion.
And a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Okay. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay.
Okay,
Motion
consideration.
passes. Thank you.
Thank you. Consideration of a motion to advertise an ordinance amendment to increase the membership of the Hanover Borough Recreation Board from 5 members to 7 members, one of which shall be a member of the Hanover Borough Council as delineated in the Pennsylvania Borough Code.
So motion.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Greenholt. Any discussion? Okay. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you.
That completes the council workshop financial personnel.
Conveniently, Chuck, at Planning and Engineering, you're next.
Consideration of motion to award the sale of firewood at the former Black Rock Landfill in Manheim Township at a price of $750 to Mr. Timothy Bankert as per the specifications.
So motion.
And a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay. Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
Okay, great.
I have to say cynically that is to be the most discussed 10 cords of firewood or whatever it was that's in the history of man.
Yeah.
But all right, I'll shut up now. All right, next, Chuck.
Consideration of a motion to terminate the current contract with the Middle Department Inspection Agency upon completion of all outstanding permits and approve the Uniform Construction Code contract for a third-party building code review and inspection services with Pennsylvania Municipal Code Alliance, PMCA for a period of 2 years.
The motion
So moved.
and a
I'll
second. Second, please. Dora? Okay. Any discussion on that? All right. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Motion carries. Thank you.
Consideration of a motion to accept the deed of dedication and execute the related easement agreement for the water and sanitary sewer system and all related apparatuses for the Cherry Tree 4 residential development.
So motion.
Motion and a second.
Second.
Second. Chris? Any discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Consideration of a motion to accept the reduction of public improvement bonding for the Cherry Tree 4 residential development from a total of $623,997 to an amount of $347,854.10 to be posted in a form of surety as deemed acceptable to the Hanover Borough Solicitor.
So motion.
And a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Greenhold. Any discussion? All right, those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
That completes the planning and engineering report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hegberg. Okay, next is public safety, Mr. Lockard.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I request consideration of a motion to direct the Hanover Borough Civil Service Commission to certify an eligibility list from the January 2022 Metropolitan York Police Consortium testing list.
So motion.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Greenhold. Any discussion on that? All right, those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Governance and Policy Committee, Dr. Rupp.
Thank you. I would like to ask for consideration of a motion to approve the non-union employee compensation classification policy based on a study performed by N.J. Hess and Associates.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on that? All right. Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Well, there we go.
That would conclude my report.
Motion carried. Water and sewer. Chuck, would you mind carrying me on that one, please, for Bill?
Consideration of a motion to approve the purchase of a surge protector transfer switch for the wastewater lift station located at Church Street at the cost of approximately $50,000 from wastewater treatment fund reserves.
Motion?
Second.
Well, can I get first a motion?
I make
Yeah, he did.
Chris? Jody?
A
Second? Any discussion on that? I'm assuming that's now the nerdy, engineer has to come out. I'm assuming that's a electrical surge protection thing, and I don't mean to put you on the spot because neither one of us know, but okay.
It is.
Okay, fine. All right, those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Hegberg. Next, we're to the mayor's report. Mayor Sue-Ann, please.
All right, my report for December. December 7th, Chief Martin and I met with Dr. Sue Peck and Christina Martinez of Open Arms Recovery, where we discussed programs Hanover PD has implemented. We answered their questions and shared information concerning drug usage and medical marijuana. December 8th, I visited the Cake and Panini Bar at 22 Carlisle Street. Everything on the seasonal menu is delicious. Amanda and her team are known for their custom cakes as well. They have coffee, lattes, and hot chocolate perfect for these wintry days. December 10th, I attended the Hamburg Chamber of Commerce annual holiday luncheon. State Representative Kay Klunk addressed the members as well as the Chamber President Mike Kelly. It was a well-attended festive event. December 15th, Hanover PD held their annual holiday breakfast hosted by Chief Martin. It was followed with a meeting where Sergeant Walterstorff gave a presentation on evidence collection for vehicular accidents. Several marksmanship awards were also presented. It was great seeing the majority of the Hanover Police Force all together. Thank you to the Hanover Railside Diner for the wonderful breakfast. It was quite the spread. The only thing that was missing was pumpkin spice latte. December 30th, that's a little inside joke. No, you had to be there. December 30th, in conjunction with the YWCA Hanover Safe Home, I recorded and presented a proclamation declaring January 2022 Human Trafficking Awareness Month to help bring awareness to this issue, as the Safe Home has served and is currently serving adult and minor victims of labor and sex trafficking in both York and Adams counties. And then also last week, I had a conversation with UPMC, and just to give a little bit of an update, probably no surprise, they are at capacity. Hanover Hospital is at capacity. Part of the issue is there are ambulances being routed up to Hanover from Maryland. They've had ambulances come as far as Frederick, and UPMC has the policy that they do not divert. So they take everyone that comes because they feel like it's not fair to the patient nor the ambulance drivers if they turn them away. They're also asking that, don't come to the ER unless it truly is an emergency. And if you need testing, they have various express cares. And they're saying the Spring Grove Express Care is the least busy. So if you can make it out to there, if you need to be tested, that's where you should go. Also, you should be seeing your family care practitioner. The other thing they were telling me is that the PCR is the most reliable COVID test, and the reagents that are used to process the test are in a shortage. So therefore, it's taking up to 5 days to process the test. And I'm hoping that there's a Dr. Kurt Thomas that perhaps will come to our February meeting and give an update straight from a doctor. And that concludes my report. All the express cares are open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
All right. Mayor Whitman, thank you very, very much. I sincerely appreciate that. Any other matters? Manager?
Yes, I received a letter today, which is at your place, from PennDOT, and it's in regard to the Eisenhower extension. There will be a 45-day comment period, which started about 2 days ago, and there will be a public hearing that coincides with your meeting date on February 23rd. Although this matter is not on the agenda, I'm advised by the solicitor that it can be discussed in that it is has been received within 24 hours and he considers it de minimis. So it is possible for you to consider whether you want to do all of your business at workshop the week before so that you can attend the meeting, which is at Saves, and that's from 6 to 8 p.m. on the 23rd.
Just for clarity's sake, this is specifically about the Eisenhower extension.
I'm sorry if I didn't say that.
No, that's okay. Going through to, I don't want to say it's the Brushtown bypass, but it goes from the end of Eisenhower Drive as we know it today through to, I think it's Sunday Drive, somehow through Adams County, just for everyone's clarity. It's not the widen the roads in downtown Hanover and tear the buildings down.
Well, the only thing is that totally off the table, or, because see, that was the alternate to this. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm wondering.
Chris, honestly, I don't know the answer to that.
I guess that, as far as the
at this stage of the NEPA analysis, they should be providing a preferred alternative along with the no build.
Okay.
They'll present all of them, but
In the
they'll,
paper, there were options, there were three options. This is an option, the other option, taking 53 homes, or no, nothing at all, based on
correct, no
funding.
build,
Based on
the
funding.
preferred option,
Right.
and then
So
the,
I assume this is their current direction is to build the extended road, if you will, of Eisenhower Drive, correct?
I think that was in the paper, but the other two are still out there.
We could provide a presentation, a short presentation on this at the workshop so that you're prepared for the hearing the following week, if you'd like.
All right, would you do that?
the no, the no,
Yes,
the
I
no
would,
build
I would
is
appreciate
still.
that.
I would
think that
think
would
that
be.
the hearing is going to determine maybe, or put some power to one decision or the other. right?
Agreed, and I think that way, but to Nan's point, if we kind of highlight the multiple options, if you will, that are out there, everybody will know pretty much what, the A, B, C, D options are. And because I know this is a very charged subject.
Well, if you drive through McSherrystown, there are signs everywhere that they don't want this.
It's always,
Right.
always will be.
So I'm pretty sure that half, or as Tim said, most of McSherrystown will be at that hearing.
Well, and the hearing is it saves, it's not here.
Right, yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
but I
the-
think a lot of people will be there, and I think if there's no presence from the borough, it just doesn't look good. I mean, it doesn't look like.
Well, no, I
figure.
think we should be there,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And we should definitely be there because we don't want to lose the 53 properties. I mean, basically,
Well,
that's
right.
what,
On the TSS,
right.
Right.
CSM.
Well, Nan,
CSM,
everything is going to be on the website, correct?
Yes.
The plans, everything, so that we can get a general idea of what we're up against? I mean, in either direction, right? Everything's on there?
It's on there.
Okay.
Right, and I'm sure everybody has
Yeah.
a different, opinion on this. I think we need to get the options all out there so everybody's well informed, and it's probably not going to be a pretty discussion, but that's the way it rolls. So we can all talk about it.
It was advertised in the paper, and the paper indicated that if you wanted to speak, as you have to at a hearing, you had to sign up ahead of time. So that might be something that we should consider, that somebody should
Well,
stand up
you
and
can
say,
send-
like Chris said, we don't want to lose 53 houses.
You can send a letter, and I was told by Kate that your letter will carry the same amount of weight as your personal presentation.
Right.
So if you wanted to send a letter in, either via the Borough Council as a whole or individually, that we certainly have the opportunity to do that.
We can prepare and present a draft
Yeah.
letter the week before. the
I was going to ask you about that. I
Yeah.
wrote some, I just was
Yeah.
tooling around today with things, so.
Okay?
Well, we'll have an opportunity to discuss this at Finance, won't we? And because I'm really not sure of all the options that they're going to, I think it was a basic 2 option.
Or
and-
no build is the third option.
And the third option. And so I really want to take the time just to set and view the website and see what is occurring so that I can make a better call with the rest of council. Fair enough?
Certainly appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Okay.
What do you think they're going to do that then? Not have the council meeting February 23rd and do it all the 16th?
No, I think if anything, that would be an additional,
Right.
I don't know, discussion. We'll have to figure that out offline of what exactly we're going to do. I'm not,
Well, it's like Nan said, we could do all our business on the 16th. And then,
Well, we'll-
and then not have the meeting, this meeting on the 23rd.
right, so we could accelerate.
I would like to go that way.
The workshop meeting. Is that, Nan, is that your recommendation?
I think we could do it, and it would really test drive something you might want to try from time to time.
Okay, well, let's, I don't know that I want to make that decision here right now because I don't honestly have enough information around it, but I'd like to have a discussion around that in the next few days, and then we make a decision and make the public notification. How much time do we have to have? 2 weeks?
No, we don't. We can cancel in a very short time. We can cancel right up to the meeting. But we could, it could be at the discretion of the chair, whether to
Well, I
hold
mean,
that meeting.
inferring how much time do we need to schedule a new meeting if we were to change it from the X to the 16th?
You wouldn't need to schedule a new meeting. You could
Already have it.
potentially conduct all of your business on the 16th, take the votes, just as you normally do, except that they're permanent votes, and then to cancel the meeting on the 23rd, just for the month of February, so that there can be attendance at the hearing.
Yeah, because I think we want to have a strong showing there, because if I understand correctly, just by driving through McSherrystown, they're going to be heavily represented. And then if they have the default as well, okay, we'll just run it down through Hanover and take 53 properties, those people might all be, I mean, obviously, the Eisenhower extension, as is originally slated to be done, only affects the borough in about a couple hundred feet, but we definitely don't want to lose 53 properties.
Well, that's not actually a true statement. If
Really?
you are taking properties, but the impact to the borough goes much more than that because of traffic.
Wow.
And
Yeah, 'cause it's only a bottleneck at
unless they extended the traffic study to see what would happen if you divert traffic to Main Street and into the square, which is already a problem, then that defeats the purpose of it.
All right, well then,
That's the thing.
So Chuck, what are you saying? How many properties would be involved?
As far as the TSM, as far as what they would do, which is a traffic system management, they would be widening and they'd be taking properties. So
Right.
on Carlisle Street, you would.
Correct. About 54 properties.
Right, that would affect also our tax base, would it not?
Well,
That's
but more importantly is they're diverting all that traffic
Oh, and that
onto an
too,
already
absolutely.
congested system.
Right.
So it
Okay.
doesn't really
So it add
Fixes-
more
it doesn't
width
fix
to
the
an
problem.
already problematic area.
correct.
Right. All right, well, I don't think we're
Right, no, me,
prepared to
sorry.
have that debate here this
No.
evening. I'd like to propose that I'd ask the manager, Nan, to try to schedule a discussion about that in the future, and we call this meeting to a close. I don't think we're going to get to an
We have
end to
one more
that
public
this evening.
Yeah, one more public.
Oh, do we have,
Public comment.
One more
what did I miss?
public comment.
Public comment.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought we had that.
One more.
Got
No,
you.
a secondary public comment, pardon me.
Last chance for joining us via Zoom. You can
Those online.
unmute yourself.
Okay. Before our adjournment, I would like to wish our fellow councilman, Brian Fuente, and friend, a quick recovery. Brian is in the Gettysburg Hospital with COVID. I hope I'm okay in saying that. I think he would be okay amongst friends. I would hope we can consider him in our prayers and wish him a quick recovery. Hope he's doing well. I did talk to him, what's today, Wednesday? I think I talked to him Monday, and he seemed positive, but he was having a tough time. So, please keep him in your prayers and in your thoughts, because, good friends are hard to come by anymore. So, with that, I take a motion for adjournment.
So motion.
Second.
Second. Thank you. Call ourselves adjourned at, what would it be?
7:38.
7:40.